Guyana in the Caribbean. Lush and mysterious rainforests, white and sunny island beaches, right? But how much do we really know about the history and culture of this region? Join us and together we'll go on a voyage of discovery. Sundar Popo and pioneers of Chutney music in the Caribbean. Sundar Popo, often regarded as the king of Chutney, was a pioneering figure who revolutionized the landscape of Caribbean music. His innovative fusion of Indian folk melodies with Caribbean rhythms gave birth to a vibrant new genre that captured the cultural complexities of Indo-Caribbean identity and brought joy to Caribbean people. Hi there, and welcome once again to the Aaron Darcy Project. Here is where we look back at the people, places, and events that make up the beautiful tapestry of Guyanese and Caribbean history. I am your host, Andrew, and today we take a look at the legacy of Sundar Popo, exploring his musical innovations, his impact on the Caribbean music scene, and his influence on subsequent generations of Chutney artists. The Caribbean in the 1970s was a melting pot of cultures, a symphony of sounds inherited from a history of migration and resilience. The descendants of indentured laborers brought from India generations before had kept their traditions alive. The melodies of their homeland echoed in their hearts. Alongside of this was the beat of calypso and streams of English and American pop culture heard on the radio and seen on the big screens of movie houses. But something new was brewing, a musical fusion that would capture the unique experience of being both Indian and Caribbean, Chutney music. Sundar Popo was a young man from Monkey Town, Trinidad, with a voice that could melt butter and a spirit that danced to the beat of his own heart. He wasn't content with repeating the traditional bhajans and film songs that filled the airwaves, but wanted to create something more, a sound that reflected the living, vibrant fusion of his Indo-Caribbean world. One night back in the late 60s, at a wedding celebration in a Trinidadian village, a young Sundar Popo, barely a teenager, stood on a makeshift stage clutching a battered harmonium, his fingers trembling with a mix of excitement and nerves. The air was thick with anticipation. The scent of roasted corn and delicious curries filled the air. The young man closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and began to sing. His voice, clear as a mountain stream, soared through the night, weaving a tapestry of ancient melodies and heartfelt emotions. But then, something magical began to happen. As he sang, Sundar began tapping his feet, his body bouncing to an irresistible beat. The dholak player, taking a cue from Sundar, threw in a spicy tassa rhythm and the guitarist added a calypso strum. Suddenly, the whole village was on its feet, swept up in a wave of joyous energy. This, my friends, was the moment Chutney music was born. Sundar Popo grew in popularity as his music filled the gap between traditional Indian music and Caribbean rhythms, but then his breakthrough hit, Nana and Nanny, became an anthem for a generation back around the early 70s. This was a playful, catchy, and irresistibly danceable piece of music, a perfect blend of Indian folk music and Caribbean rhythms. At first, it was very strange to the ear. People who were accustomed to the gentler rhythms of music from Bollywood movies took a while to accept this strange new sound. But this song, Nana and Nanny, had grandparents tapping their feet and after a few drinks, getting up and dancing. Children and young people, especially at Indian wedding houses, danced and twirled hands and fingers to the rhythm and beat. This was the power of Sundar Popo's exciting new music, uniting generations and cultures in a celebration of shared identity. Sundar Popo, even as a young man, had a knack for captivating his audience. They say he'd sometimes stop mid-song, a twinkle in his eye, and ask, "Who here likes to dance?" And the audience, already caught up in the spell of his music, would roar with excitement. He'd then launch into another spicy tune, and the whole place would erupt in a whirlwind of swirling saris and joyous laughter. But Sundar Popo wasn't alone in this musical revolution. Across the Caribbean, other artists were catching the Chutney fever, adding their own unique spices to the mix. One of these was the very popular performer Drupati. Her spicy songs wove stories of heartbreak and hope, touching the deepest chords of the human experience. And there was Kanchan, the queen of Chutney. Her voice, a force of nature, was singing of love, loss, and the struggles of Indo-Caribbean people. She and her husband Babla became really very popular all across Guyana and the Caribbean. The streets of Georgetown and in towns and villages all across Guyana pulsated with the rhythms of chutney during Mashramani and Easter celebrations. And in Trinidad, chutney music blazed across the airwaves during Carnival. All around and throughout the year, the air was filled with the intoxicating melodies of chutney, and as the genre of chutney grew in popularity, along came other performers like Ricky Jai. Ricky Jai became the energetic showman, blending chutney with soca and Jamaican dancehall, setting the stage ablaze with his infectious energy. Chutney music became more than just entertainment. It became a cultural phenomenon. It was the soundtrack of weddings, festivals, and family gatherings, a vibrant expression of Indo-Caribbean pride. It gave voice to a community that had long sought a musical identity that truly reflected their complex heritage. But the story doesn't end there. Chutney music is constantly evolving, adapting, and embracing new influences. Today, in the 21st century, young artists are experimenting with electronic beats, hip-hop rhythms, and reggae influences, pushing the boundaries of the genre and ensuring its continued relevance in today's modern, ever-changing musical world. So, the next time you get caught up in the infectious beat of chutney music, remember the story of Sundar Popo, the young man who dared to blend traditions, the king who reigned with a rhythm that captured the heart and soul of the Caribbean. And remember, too, the other chutney pioneers. Their music is a testament to the power of cultural fusion, a celebration of Caribbean identity, and a reminder that the most beautiful melodies are often born from the meeting of different worlds. Let's seek out the music of Sundar Popo, Kanchan, Ricky Jai, Drupati, and all the other chutney legends. Let their music transport you back to the vibrant world of the Caribbean and fill your hearts with joy and your feet with that irresistible urge to get up and dance. You can also support your local chutney artists, attend their concerts, and keep this beautiful tradition alive, for in the rhythms of chutney, we find not just music, but a story of our own survival, creativity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Now, let's see, who's ready to dance? Thanks for joining us on the Aaron Darcy Project. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like, share, and leave a comment below to let us know how we're doing. Goodbye for now.